Vida Beats.
Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm your host, Vick3, and welcome to a special Friday Night Live with Vick3. And, like I said, if anyone's seen the description in the comment, this is very impromptu. This is something I usually don't do. Usually you see me more a little formal, got some questions out. But with so much going on in Philadelphia and with Eagles news, I thought, you know what, I'll just bring on some of the fellas and we can discuss it as we go along. So first of all, let me bring on my guy from the Swoop Boys podcast. We got my guy, King Kincaid. What's good, King?
What's good? What's good, man?
Hey, man, appreciate you for coming through. Like I said, it was very short notice, and you came through. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Always, man. Always got to be available for the Vick3, the one and only Mr. Vick3 Doom. You know what I'm saying? Spicy
Yes, sir.
Twitter and
Yes,
everything.
sir.
We good, B. What's up?
Appreciate it. Next, we have, fellow ECG member of the family. We got one of the hardest working men on YouTube today. We got my guy from the 7200 second podcast. We got Coach Dante. Coach, what's good?
Hey, what's good, man? Shout out to y'all, man. King, Vic, man. Shay, shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for always having me on, man. Anytime I'm just one text message away. You already know that.
Hey, and before we go on, let's shout out the barber of the week. Coach, can you give everybody a quick profile? Let everybody know how the barber treats you down in Houston. Ooh, nice.
That boy clean. Clean.
Hey, they know how to tear it up in Houston, man.
Hey, Houston, shout out to Houston, man. Every time I go there, I ain't gonna lie. The barbers, the barbecue, the clubs. Houston, y'all, fine as art, okay? Fine as.
Hey, shout out to Harris County, shout out to Kingwood, shout out to Humble, shout out to everybody out there.
Yes, sir. Hey, Sam.
Hey, and last but not least, we got a newcomer to the YouTube stage. He's like I said before, he's a master on the Twitter Spaces. He's out there holding it down for Eagles Nation. But we also got my guy Shay Dub. Shay, what's good, my guy?
What's going on, fellas, man? It's an honor to be here speaking with you guys about Eagles football, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah, man, like I said, man, it's impromptu, man. I appreciate y'all. So, let's get into some of the news. Like I said, usually I got banners, I got everything going up, but we're just going to get into it. The week started off, we had some things going down, and everybody was a little upset because we had final 53-man cut down. So let me get everybody's thought on what the final roster looks like. Was there anyone that you were a little upset that didn't make the team and that you were happy that if we were possible to bring them on back? King, let me start off with you.
Man, so who was I upset about bringing back? Yeah, Kayvon Wallace. I was really disappointed when he came back. He just talks too much. He seems slow out there. He seemed like he was running in a quicksand, and I think the game is just too fast for him in the pros. I know he was in a great defense and he was a main factor in Clemson, but dude, he's just not. He's not contributing the way I thought he would be. I wasn't saying the second coming of Brian Dawkins. Don't even get at me with that junk. You know what I'm saying? I was just expecting a little bit more from him, but hopefully, he the writing is on the wall. Because Harris is on the practice squad. He's back on there. And then there's rumors maybe Tart can be back after week 1. So he's not 100% on the squad yet or an official 53. So we'll see. Trade, loved it. Loved the trade. Already knew the trade was going to happen. And the trade with, it was a Yugo. That was crazy. You basically traded him for a 5th, got a 6th. and then everything just came into a circle, man. And, JJ went to Seattle. Now we were supposed to have DK, and then Justin Jefferson got teamed up with Jalen Reagor. The whole thing was bananas. But those are probably my two highlights of what I didn't like and what I didn't like and what I didn't like. So
yeah, Kayvon Wallace, like you said, that was someone who I'm one of them. I didn't say the next coming of Brian Dawkins, but I said he had the potential to do that, and I was very high on him. I even thought he could be possibly, defensive rookie of the year when he came through, but that did not come to fruition at all. We all seen, just like you said, sometimes when he's out there, it's like he's running in quicksand. He hasn't picked up the game. It might be too fast for him. That might be the issue. But, Coach Dante, let me get your thoughts. What did you think about the 53-man roster cut down? And were there any surprises for you?
Nah, it wasn't no surprise, but Kayvon Wallace, making the team, man. When you get beat by Tyreek Hill like that, and you come out in a press conference, you just say, you guarded one of the fastest men in the league. You hate to guard that. I mean, that's just part of the game. It just tells you, like I say, he just never caught up to the speed of the game. The coaching staff never was kind of sold on him for him to be probably a starting safety in the National Football League. But when you're starting going into a press conference and saying stuff like that about Tyreek Hill, that should tell you something about Kayvon Wallace. So again, like King said, he just never caught up to the speed of the game, and he just never got into the position where the coaching staff really have confidence in him and being on that football field. He just really never showed nothing really in camp to impress or not. But like I said, otherwise he's still up on this football team. So other than that, kind of disappointing, for Kayvon Wallace still be on this team. But other than that, like I say, for him to say what he said about Tyreek Hill, it just tells you all you need to know about Kayvon Wallace.
Fact, definitely. And, like I said, the newcomer to the stage, a master of the Twitter spaces. We got Shay up in here. Shay, let me get your opinion on the final 53-man roster. And was there any surprises, or was there anyone that you wish could have stayed on the team?
Well, yeah. I'll start by who I wish stayed on the team, man. I was really hoping Deion Kane would get on there. But I'm glad that we were able to keep him on practice squad. Actually, I'm glad we got him and Covey and Devin Allen. So, guys that we can bring in on a pinch if we need to have an extra wide receiver body, for the active roster or game roster. I agree with y'all sentiments. I was a little confused about the Kayvon Wallace. He's a guy I root for because he's kind of a hometown guy. He's from the same area that I'm from. So I've been hoping he show us something, especially as a 4th-round pick. But so far, I haven't seen a lot. And that Tyreek Hill play didn't look good, man. I've seen the back of his jersey a lot on that play. It was like, because it kind of seemed like he was there for a second, but then he wasn't. So that's kind of like how a lot of his plays are. But they see something that we don't. He's probably a good special teams guy. And, you can never have enough good special teams guys, in my opinion. So that one surprised me. But what, the other ones that I was really happy about was seeing Reed Blankenship make the team. That was a good one. I'm really glad.
I like Blankenship.
Yeah,
I'll give you one more. I'm gonna give you one more that I was surprised about. That was Brooks, Ian Brooks from the Saints. Yo, yeah. If you let Carson Strong just walk, you should never claim Young Bull because he's terrible.
Yeah,
he showed a little bit, and he showed a little bit in Notre Dame, right? He showed a little bit. He was an athlete. He was an athletic quarterback. Can escape the pocket. Had some good throws here and there. But when it came to the pros, and yes, I get it. COVID put in a bad spot. Was on Monday night, or I think I want to say Monday night or Thursday night football. He was putting the bright lights. Yep. He threw 2-3 picks, and it was 7 or 3 to the 30-something. Mm-hmm. I get it, but man, from what I see from this kid, I'm not a big fan of him. I hope he develops in something. This is supposedly the Philadelphia Eagles, which is Howie Roseman, the quarterback factory. So we'll see.
Wait, don't remind me about that.
Well, what's surprising that no one mentioned Jason Huntley. Jason Huntley was my guy. Like this camp, I thought he had a wonderful camp. I thought he was running the ball well. and then he just got let go. I think he's not even on practice squad if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, he's with the Steelers. He got picked up by the Steelers today.
Yeah. So that for me, that was very surprising because of how good of a camp he had.
Okay.
I like the guys that we brought in though afterwards though.
We will definitely get there. Listen, we rebounded nicely. I will say that we did rebound nicely. We got some good pickups.
We got Sermon on waivers. That was supposed to happen. Weren't we like 19?
My wife was pissed about that one.
Is she?
My wife is a hardcore Niner fan. She was pissed. She was like, "We traded up in the 3rd round for him." I was like, "Thank you."
Hey, I think this offseason, some people got to be humbled. Everybody, admitted their mistakes. Finally, some people were moved over. And, one of those people that were moved over, let's talk about it because this is something that was been talked about all offseason. There was talks about, trade talks heating up. Everybody's denying the fact that that's even happening. And then out of nowhere, we get the call. Jalen Reagor traded to the Vikings. Now, what were your thoughts when it happened? And what did you think of the compensation for Reagor? I'll start off with you, King.
I'm glad we got something for him. I mean, you hyped him up in camp, right? He was, and I get it. He was there every day. He was probably the one wide receiver that was there every day. He played every preseason, so they were showcasing him. He just wasn't doing anything. Can we? I just want to say, can we give kudos to Howie? Can we get a round of applause for Howie for doing this thing? Like he got a bubblegum pop, he got a bubblegum machine, a soda, a pop machine, and a damn washing machine for JJ Arcega-Whiteside, right? And a pick, right? And then he turns that joint into giving away and just gaining more draft capital. Like that is something that you got to give it to Howie. Howie's probably top 10 GMs in the league. I was happy about it. I was hoping to get what we won. I think we wanted it was Addison, the running back, but we already knew with his expiring contract, you had to give him basically what we're doing with Chauncey. We're gonna have to extend him during the season or figure out what we're doing with him. But I was super happy, man. We're getting draft capital, and then just to put salt in the wound, with that pickup. The Saints. I don't know what y'all doing, but thank you.
Saints had a rough week, man.
They had a rough week.
Howie's petty, man. You realize he traded the wide receiver misses he made. He traded to the teams that took the actual right one. Like,
yeah,
it's so petty.
I'm loving it. I love it.
Yeah, man.
You're on mute.
Jalen
Reagor Vic.
Kind of isn't real.
You're on mute, Vic.
I was going to say, Coach, let me get your thoughts. What did you think of the Jalen Reagor trade? What do you think of that? Matter of fact, what do you think of the fact that both first-round wide receivers are now playing on the same team?
Hey, man, you just never know, man. It may finally help Reagor get something going, get some confidence going. I mean, they got a good wide receiving core over there. Their wide receiving core is no slouch. Justin Jefferson, a 1,600-yard wide receiver. Adam Thielen, 1,000-yard wide receiver every year. They both had 10 touchdowns apiece last year. That's a total of 20 touchdowns. So that may finally help Reagor have some success. But again, we would never know. But the compensation you got for him, you weren't going to get nothing more than a 6th or 7th round pick anyway for his performance anyway. So at least the Eagles got something. At least the Eagles got something for him. So like I say, you never know, man. That Minnesota wide receiving core is pretty damn good over there where they at. And so, that might open it up a little more for him. So just hope for the best. But I mean, great job by Howard Roseman. You look at what Howard Roseman did all off season, what the Eagles fan base wanted. They wanted wide receiver. He got it in the draft after all the wide receivers got off the board in the first round. He traded up for unhappy, AJ Brown. I blame Tennessee for that because they didn't even want to pay him this money. They tried to lowball and he said, "Fuck it, I'm gone. I want up out of here." He got him. He got you a cornerback. The Eagles asked for a cornerback. Got him a cornerback and a CB2 and James Bradbury. Got a slot cornerback, CJ Gardner-Johnson, who's really, really good. The Saints noticed they had to pay him. They said we ain't paying them, and they secondary is still deep. They secondary is still really good. So that's part of the reason also why they also gave us. So give credit to Howie Roseman, man, how he did in this offseason, and got Hassan Reddick, the hometown kid, as well, and got Kazir White, 144 tackles last year. Give credit to Howie Roseman. Everything that the Eagles fan base wanted, he delivered, and he deserves credit, man. He deserves credit. He deserves a lot of credit.
He listens. He's been listening. He's been listening.
Oh, listen.
He's been hearing. He's been feeling the pressure. He's been hearing y'all.
Yeah.
I know how.
You know, when you riding around Philadelphia and in the black Tahoe and mad tent, you know you better watch out. You better listen.
Hey, King, you know how he was listening because what happened on Tuesday? Yeah, Kim Sports talking about, oh, don't be surprised about Sony Michel. I shot that down quick. I said, gotta look at a little man called Michael Perrion out of New York.
Sure did.
He's been with the team the whole season. He's been friends with Devontae Smith, one of his best friends. Again, he knows the system, knows the offense. And what happened on Wednesday morning? We had a surprise. Perrion's on the team right now. You know, you got to read the tea leaves, as I said. You got to see, the relationship that these teams, especially these players, that they have off the field. That plays into a lot of this free agency, especially now. Everyone, if your best friend's out there, your team's going to do whatever they can to get them.
One inkling though. Can we stop disrespecting Brian Westbrook and giving out his number, man? Can we stop doing that? Y'all ain't giving Shady's number out. Y'all ain't giving out Nick Foles' number out. Randall Cunningham. Stop disrespecting Brian Westbrook, man. Y'all can't stop giving my man 36, man. That's crazy.
Hey, that's putting a bad name on Philly fans, man. Stop that. If anything, you should stop that.
Yeah, man. Stop that, man.
But let me ask you a quick question though. How do you think the Vikings are going to even use Rager? They already got Kevin Osborne back there. They have another receiver. Now you have Rager. That's 5 guys. That's a crowded room.
Kick return. He's going to be running the ball. He'll be running the ball. He's going to be doing trick plays. They're going to try to use him like a Percy Harvin type of deal. He's going to be a gadget player, and I think that's what Nick didn't want to. Nick didn't want to get rid of Rager. He wanted to use Rager as a gadget guy, but you can't pay $3.5 million in a first round pick to be a gadget guy. You know what I'm saying? You got to get something for him, and there's guys out there that you can pick up off the waiver wire or free agency or trades, whatever the case may be. You have to, what is available, that's what you got to go. And time is always ticking. Time is always ticking.
Definitely. Well, before we continue, let me just shout out the people that came through in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me get them their just dues. First of all, we got my guy, Dante, East Coast Gridiron family member, the Thanos Snap himself. Key in the building, who, listen, I credit her with so much. She does so much for so many people in the background, and she's the one that creates all my intros. Shout out to Key for coming through. And also, like, everyone that comes over, we got Big Play Slay up in the building. Thank you so much, my guy. Papa Sora, my guy, thank you so much for coming through. We also got a guest right here next to me. One of my best friends, also named Tim. He's over here quietly in the cut. He's, chatting my ear off when things pop off. But yeah, you might hear from him here and there. But listen, let me say to everybody that's watching, that will be watching, thank you for coming through, man. Like I said, this is the Sun Impromptu. I thought we just put it together and discuss, the great news that's been happening this week. And while you're out there, if you can, go to everyone's channel. Hit that like, subscribe if you can. It helps everyone out.
Swoop.
Yeah, man. And let's get back into it because, we had the cut downs. We know about Rager. But let's talk about that trade. New Orleans Saints trade Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Philadelphia Eagles after extension talks break down. Now, we had this same issue happen with Kazir White. San Diego wanted to get him at a cheap price. He wasn't feeling it. Talks broke down. We benefited from that. Do you all think that Gardner can do the same thing for us, the same as White seems to be doing? King, let me start off with you and let me get your thoughts on the deal itself.
I'm gonna give you a better acquisition, better than that. This is Jordan Matthews for Ronald Darby. This is what this is. This is the transaction. This is a transaction that you do to say we're gonna get depth, we're gonna get talent, and we're gonna make some noise in the NFC East. I don't know if y'all realize, but ESPN, all those sports, Eagles been the talk of we've been talk of the week. Everybody is talking about us. We got Cowboy fans on Twitter shaking in their boots.
Man.
They mad. Straight mad. We got the whole city of Dallas like, yo, what they got so mad. They trying to get back at us by getting Jason Peters to be that 40-year-old left tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we making noise, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let my guys up here take over the show right now, because I'm right now. I'm on cloud nine, man. The depth, this roster, I get it, but I got to be like Jalen, and not too high, not too low. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm staying in my little comfort zone, do my little, you know what I'm saying, like that. But I'm excited for this season, man. I don't know about you fellas.
Oh, definitely. I definitely am. And look at all the moves that are being made are doing nothing but getting us even more excited. One of the biggest issues that we had coming into the season was, is Marcus Epps ready? Is Anthony Harris, still have what he needs to get through another season? Because that's what it looks like last season. He was trugging along. He was doing okay, but wasn't doing great. Did he have enough to give us another season? Again, with this move being made, it tells me no. It wasn't going to happen. He didn't have what we needed. We needed to make a move. But, Coach, let me get your thoughts on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson coming to the Eagles.
Well, like I say, he was part of that same secondary, and that tells you, like I say, they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay him in the offseason, and their secondary is deep anyway. I mean, you got a Marshawn Lattimore over there, Marcus May, who's in some trouble right now, but he's really, really good, man. You got Tyrann Mathieu, a Super Bowl champion. PJ Williams. I mean, their secondary is deep, so I can see why they didn't want to pay him. They They still got good secondary guys, and you got a good defense overall. You got an elite defense overall. That defense was number 4 in the National Football League, so that defense was elite. So, like I say again, it helps out the Eagles because you're getting a start, you're getting a very good safety, man. You're getting a very good safety out there. So, again, he's going to help your secondary, and like I say, I love CJ, man. He's one of my favorite, most underrated safeties that nobody really talks about being a part of that Saints defense, man. That dude can cover one-on-one. He's not afraid. He's just not afraid, man, to guard tight ends or anything. He's not afraid to tackle. He can come up and he can lay the boom on you. And I've seen a lot of that with the New Orleans Saints. So very, very happy that CJ Gardner-Johnson is part of the Eagles. So like I said, this is all secondary out. And when you got good corners, and this is why I say I would not get out and get a Jesse Bates, because right now the jury is still out on Marcus Epps. You want to know what you got, but you got good corners over there, lockdown corners over there that can help, and you can be more versatile with the safeties in case you move them in the box to try to stop the running game. So that's why I say I would not go up and try to get a Jesse Bates. You want to know what Marcus Epps got. You don't know if you're going to trade him. So again, and having good corners, that kind of helps you out. That kind of helps them out as well. Be disciplined and not break down a lot. So the news is good, man. CJ Gardner-Johnson, man, is very good, man.
Quick question, though, Coach. Quick question. I don't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
But do you see a 24-year-old Malcolm Jenkins in CJ Gardner?
I see a little bit of it. But he's got very good coverage skills, man. This guy's got very good coverage skills. And like I said, he can do it all, man. He can cover and he can lay the boom on you. So I see a lot of Malcolm Jenkins in him though, man. So he can do both. It's good to do, but that dude can do both. So y'all getting a versatile player, really.
Definitely. And listen, we all know what kind of dog we're getting, because we all seen when they played against Tampa who was standing right in front of Brady's face. Like, he ain't care. He ain't care how many Super Bowls
he did his part. He did
Brady had to get through him.
If he can do that karate chop jump that he did to the logo, and if it's a star, the Cowboy jump, I'm happy.
Yeah, man. Like, I love the swagger that he brings. I love the way he plays. Again, but let's be honest about it. And Shay, you can talk about it a lot because you've been in the Twitter spaces. You hear the talk, what they're saying, that he's possibly a liability in coverage when he's playing safety.
No, he's not.
As a nickelback, that he's great, he's good, but when it's safety, there's a liability there. Let me get your thoughts, because again, you hear about it all the time with being in the Twitter spaces. Let the people know what you think.
Well, It's it's kind of hard to get a true gauge of what he's doing because from what I've seen, like the snaps have been very limited in the last couple of years at that position. Like he's been primarily a slot cornerback, but I do hear the whispers about as a safety he's not as good in coverage. He overruns plays a little too much. He relies on his athleticism probably more than he should, and I can understand his criticisms, but I also understand why you put him at slot cornerback given that he has been one of the better ones in the league for the past couple of years. And I like the format they've used where they've had him in the slot and then had a couple of safeties in the back end like Jenkins and Marcus Williams. I thought that was a very good formula for them. So I thought they could afford to do so. I think with us, like a coach said, he's probably going to be more of a Malcolm Jenkins role. Like I don't think they're going to bring him in to be the center fielder. And if they are, then I might be wrong. But I think they're going to still try to use him to his advantage, take advantage of his strengths and keep him around the line of scrimmage because he's great there. Like I've seen some of the film, some of the highlights. Like this guy's aggressive. He is a Tasmanian devil. Like and probably talks like one too, apparently. Which I'm very excited for it, man. Like you talk about the epitome of a Philly player. Like this might be one of those guys that we end up like talking about or Eagles fans will talk about for 10, 20 years, just about, the guy who came in with, came in and gave the team a lift and his attitude made a tremendous impact, offside, like on the field with all the guys we have in our secondary because he's a game changer. I mean, he's an impact player. He makes plays. He lets you know about it. The team kind of moves to his temperament. And I'm excited to see that.
And one thing I want to elaborate on, if you see the way this guy beat guys up on the line of scrimmage in the slot, like he did Tyler Johnson at Tampa Bay, how he just beat him up all game long. Any cornerback, any receiver that stands in front of him, he's not afraid to put hands up on him and beat him up at the line of scrimmage. That's how physical that dude is. Like Shay said, that's just how physical that goddamn dude is. So I just like his aggressiveness. And he's going to be used a lot around the line of scrimmage and in the slot. So again, I feel like that's his game. I feel like that's his game right there. So let's see, can Jonathan Gannon use him as how he was used at New Orleans? Because that's what's going to make everything. That's going to make everything go right for
that's
CJ
the question. That's the question.
Yeah.
Is Jonathan Gannon going to use the grocery shopping that Howie Roseman just did and make breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Is he going to use it to his ability? Is he going to use? Because think about it, our secondary is a lot of guys that versatility. That's what it is. Interchangeable. Think about it. Tart, into Tart's defense, I think he didn't make this team because he was behind the 8-ball due to personal missing a lot of time due to personal reasons. I don't know what that is. I hope everything is well on his side. I believe with him, he should have made this team when it comes to physical and hitting and leadership in the locker room. But I see how they want to go with this, and they got CJ Gardner. But could you do an interchangeable, putting CJ Gardner in the slot and then move Maddox back into safety? Maddox played a little bit of safety. He did play a little bit of safety. He did do his little thing when he did play safety. I don't know if you guys remember that in that Tennessee Titan game. He had the interception. He was, and for some reason, Maddox is always, when he was at safety, he's always at the right spot making a play. So I can see a little bit of that as well. Like it's just interchangeable. You want to send the offense miss signals. Okay, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They got this person coming up. They got this strong safety coming up at the line of scrimmage. Now he's, you know what I mean? Like running, it's just so many things where you can just psych the quarterback out to make a mistake.
Well, I think in respect to Maddox, one of the reasons why he is that nickel corner, that slot corner, is because he was moving around between safety and corner, and that was confusing him. That was actually hurting his development. When we had him set at nickel corner, you seen it. His game elevated. He was one of the best in the league. And I don't think that's something that they're going to want to play with right now. Yeah, they want to have different looks. They want to confuse the offense, but at the same time, they don't want to confuse the players on the team. I don't think they want Maddox to have anything like that would make him revert back to that Maddox of 2019, 2020. I mean, where he was just confused all the time. You don't want
Well,
that.
they had him outside too. He's not an outside corner.
And that's the one thing we figured out. He's not an outside guy.
Not an outside corner.
Yeah, he can't do safety. But one of the things with Tart is, let's be honest, Tart was an in the box safety, a will linebacker at best. He isn't really like the size for will linebacker, but that's what he can play. He's a liability in coverage. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest issue. If you're going to play safety,
he can't catch. His hands ain't all that. Yeah, he got hands of stone.
Well, we all know his hands ain't all that. We've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it firsthand. NFC Championship game.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons why he wasn't making the team. And then you had to make that move. Okay, we still have an issue at safety, so we're going to need to do something. Again, we've been dealing with New Orleans this whole offseason. There was an issue with Chauncey Johnson, and we were like, you know what? We ain't going to work it out with CJ. Let's move him on. And Howie Roseman, the wizard that he was, came through and was like, oh, you have an issue? What? Howie came in quick. Those ears perked up. Came down and talked to New Orleans. Hey, we got him for the year. And before he made that deal, he had a talk with CJ. He let him know, hey, listen, I understand, you're talking about your contract and you're worried about the future. But just understand this. Play this year. Play free. Understand that we will take care of you. If everything on the field goes right and you play well, you'll be taken care of. And you heard him at the press conference. That was one of the things he mentioned. He mentioned how he had that conversation with Howie. He mentioned how, how he made him feel comfortable. That's something good for him.
Howie loves him. Howie was, I guess he's a Florida boy. So Howie,
go.
Yeah. So,
Shout out to Papa Sora.
Yeah. Howie loves his Florida boys. So
yeah, man. And you know what? The Florida connection has been working out. But that was the one thing. He's seen him in the draft. They interviewed him. They have a relationship with him. So like I said, once he heard talks were breaking down, hey, Howie did what you have to do as a GM. You jump on that opportunity when it arises, and he did it. And he's been doing it lately. Which, listen, we've had our issues with Howie in the past, but this season, this offseason specifically, he's been hitting on all cylinders. He has not missed. Even there were times where we were just like, yo, he should go out and do this, do that.
No,
we sat back and go ahead.
The Derek Barnett re-signing. That's the one miss.
We'll see, though. I would say we'll see. I don't like Derek Barnett, and I get why everyone doesn't because, again, possibly plays. But the depth. You got to think about depth.
Yeah. Well, I thought they could have found that depth somewhere else, either in the draft or, another guy. Somebody who's not going to get you, 6 penalties, every year as, more sacks.
See, this is the thing about Derek Barnett. See, if it wasn't this day and age, Derek Barnett would be the perfect. We would all love Derek Barnett if it wasn't this day and age. NFL's a little soft. If this is 99, 2000, man, I sound like Juvenile or something. Back up and up. We will all love Derek Barnett. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way he has that mindset is I'm doing my own thing. It's funny when I see him. You ever see him on the sideline? He never talks. He's always on the sideline by himself. And with the bald head and just looking mean, it gives me that old school. He's an old school player. I love that. But yes, I do understand the penalties.
He was, and I thought I was really high on him as a rookie year. I thought he had a really good rookie year as a backup.
He did have a rookie year.
But it's just it just hasn't panned out the way we wanted to. And then when the penalty started kind of overtaking the positive play, it was like, okay, we might need to move on, But I get it. It's easy to bring back the guy that at least he's not starting, so we don't have to rely on him for starting.
True, he's not starting. I mean, this is the thing about this Eagles defense. We don't know who is going to start because we don't know what type of formation. If it's going to be a 4-3, 3-4, nickel and dime is going to be interesting. The 3-5. The 3-5-3, that's going to be interesting as well. There's so much versatility on this group. I'm just I'm just going to sit back and eat my popcorn like Michael Jackson in Thriller and understand what the hell's going to go on. And I hope we make work chaos.
Avonte Maddox and Garner Johnson in the slot in the dime package. Think about the possibilities.
Right.
these three wide receiver sets, four wide receiver sets that were killing us for the past couple of years. They shouldn't be killing us anymore.
Right. I'm over here playing Madden, updating my roster.
Hey, listen, you all touched on it before, and this is something that I've touched on my shows a lot. So let me ask everybody again, because King, you actually mentioned it before. What's your confidence level in Coach Gannon?
Okay, so I just don't want no 7-11 defense. I don't want no we're open in the middle, everybody get a Slurpee. I was so tired of that. If you're going to work this scheme the way you worked it in Minnesota when you had Kendricks, Barr, with Hunter, what was the other cat that they had? The crazy cat, the one cat that the crazy cat,
the defensive
defensive end. I can't think of his name.
I don't know why I can't think of his name either.
Everson Griffin. If you're going to be able to do something like that, minus NFC Championship game, because you got your ass whooped. You know what I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean, we end up winning that Super Bowl in your stadium. It is what it is, right? With this type of talent that we have, can you use it to its best ability, and can you create havoc with these type of matchups that we have? We have speed at linebacker. And TJ Edwards, I don't care what nobody says. He's probably, in my opinion, pound for pound, not fast. He's just a football player. He's a good linebacker. Kazar White, great addition to the team. But I think people are forgetting about Hassan Whiteside. I mean, they're forgetting about Hassan. Hassan is going to kill it. Hassan is like that, and I don't want to see him in coverage. And excuse me, I said Whiteside like a Miami Heat. I apologize for that. But Hassan Reddick, I expect him to go pin his ears back and go get the quarterback. I don't want to see him in coverage. I do not want to see that. You know what I mean? I just want him I want him to go and get that quarterback. And I'm afraid that John Gannon is going to go try to be cute. Oh, well, we can do this and we do this, and he's fast. No. I want him going and get the quarterback. You don't end up with 25 sacks in 2 years because you're covering. You're going to go get the quarterback.
Yeah, and listen, I think Reddick's going to have a great season. I think it's great that he's not talked about. Please don't mention him. Forget the fact that he's on this team, because he will be that guy that'll come in third down and take over a game, and that's what I'm hoping for. And just like you mentioned,
him and Josh Sweat.
Listen.
Yeah,
Jay Sweaty. Have a good year.
We're sleeping on for real.
Sleeping. Nobody think about it. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about Davis. He's a rookie. Everybody talking about Kobe Dean. He the third. He gonna be on the bench. He gonna be special teams majority of the time. You know what I mean? And everybody's talking about Slay, ballhead Bradbury. You know what I mean? Like they just talking about those guys. They ain't even talking about our edge rushers. Brandon Graham coming back from his Achilles, torn Achilles. Not talking about it. They're just talking about the main addition, like the new additions of what's going on.
Hargrave.
But people forget about Sweat. Hargrave. You forget about that. I'm just interested to see. I'm so interested. I cannot wait. I've been playing Madden ever since it came out, and I've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff, bro. I'm just excited.
I think you got.
I had to say something because I had an interesting thought, so I had to write it down before I forget it. But I'm going to come back to that thought later on because you put something in my head, so I had to. Okay. But let's get into other news. We had the signing of CJ. We got him over here. We got rid of JJ. Hey, we sent him to Seattle. It's oddly enough the guy that we wanted. That draft was DK. Rager goes over to Seattle. The guy we wanted again was Justin Jefferson. We send Reagan over to Minnesota. It's a little, life is small. Things happen that way. But let's talk about these two running backs that we got. We talked about Michael Perry earlier. Now let's talk about Trey Sermon. Fellas, what did you think about those moves? King, I'll start off with you.
I like Trey. I mean, he's a violent runner. My thing is he does tend to run high, He does pick up his upper body gets up high. That's a little bit concerning. P. Ryan, I didn't really see that much from him. I'm hoping that he comes and I mean, I think he'll be, if he gets a chance, I think he can definitely contribute. But to get back on Sermon, I think a lot of people go back on Sermon when he was in Ohio State and Oklahoma. In those college games that he went off, people go back to that. It's not what you did back then. It's what do you do for me now lately. But yeah, I think they're two great new schemes. I mean, he's and then Trey Sermon is probably our biggest back. So you got your power back.
Hey, a lot of people were clamoring for a physical back to tell him I'll get Jordan Howard. Again, I get it. I understand what
No,
you
I
said,
don't.
but to me,
I
I
don't.
hate the fact that everyone keeps on bringing that man's name up. Okay,
Yeah.
he had a couple of good seasons in Chicago. He gave us a decent season in Philadelphia, 1 year. His issue, just like our current running back, and we'll talk about him in a little bit, never on the field for a whole season. Can't ever be on the field. Can't ever be depended on. But, Coach, let me get your thoughts on the two new running backs that the Eagles acquired this week.
First of all, I'll say Sermon can't stay on the field, didn't stay on the field with San Francisco last year. Part of the reason why Deebo Samuel had to go to running back because they only had one running back they only had one running back throughout the middle of the season. That was just Elijah Mitchell, who had a great season. So that's why really Deebo Samuel was flustered into the running back role. But Trey Sermon is productive when on the field with San Francisco, but the problem is he's not on the field, just like all other running backs, just like Miles Sanders from the Philadelphia Eagles and P. Ryan. A guy that you can use in short yardage situations, a guy that can move the chains, and I believe if Sermon can stay healthy, he'll be a solid depth piece running back. And P. Ryan, you can bring him in to eat up those yards. And when you need a first down, hey, you just give it to him, and hey, let him get that first down. So I think it's a pretty good depth for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, definitely. I think I love both moves. Again, you all know how much I like Piron. But hey, Shay, let me get your thoughts on these two new acquisitions. What do you think about our new running backs?
I really like the prospects of what Trey Sermon can do, especially behind our offensive line. And I believe we have the best run blocking offensive line in the league. And we're gonna have a running back by committee. You need different styles. You got to have your fast guy. You need to have your slasher. You need to have a guy to get the tough yards. And the ideas for a guy like Trey Sermon, who's big and strong and runs like my man say, runs violently. Like, you need a guy. We didn't have a guy like that on our roster, so now we do. And so it's a matter of just seeing what he can bring to our table, what we can bring to our roster. I like the prospects of it. It does remain to be seen if he can produce the way he did in college, because in San Francisco he didn't have the best start. He didn't get on the field a whole lot. They basically took whoever they had behind him they could find to put in front of him. So that says a lot, but still, the NFL is about second chances. It's never get a chance to see what he can do. And P. Ryan, I'll be honest with you, I don't know as much about P. Ryan as probably you guys do. I just heard that he was a guy who was highly thought of coming out of college. Like I said, we can't have enough running backs. When we won the Super Bowl a few years back, we had like 5 of them. We had Blunt, we had Clement, we had Ajayi, we had Barner, we had Smallwood, and all of them we had Sproles, and all of them had their moments. And I think they're still trying to, bring that back. So we definitely got to just bring different styles. We didn't have a bruiser back. Now we do. We have 2 of them apparently. So let's see what it looks. See what it looks like. I love the practice squad, man. The practice squad's got some guys on there.
Got an awesome practice squad. Coach, quick question. When you're saying that he's not going to, that you don't think Sermon's not going to make a big impact, do you think it's because, number one, let me give you options. Number one, could he have been in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse? Or number 2, Kyle Shanahan's run zone, because they do that zone running instead of because you think it was one of the 2? because I feel like Trey Sermon is run between the tackle type of guy, and at times for a big guy, he actually has good hands. He can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, I think Trey Sermon is good. I don't think none of that's the problem. I think he can run any way you tell him to run. I think he can run. Problem is he's not being on the field. He's hurt. That was the initial problem in San Francisco. I think Trey Sermon can do it all. I think he can catch out of the backfield. I think he can run. I don't think it's different. I don't think he has no problem running the way you want him to run, sideline to sideline with between the tackles. I actually think he can do it all. The problem was injury. That was the actual problem. Then you got a rookie in Elijah Mitchell that had 960 yards, and you had to fluster Deebo Samuel, and you had another running back hurt in Jeff Wilson, and you had the fluster. You had the fluster. When Sermon and Wilson got hurt, you had to fluster Deebo Samuel right into the running back role, which is he got worn down by the NFC Championship game against the Los Angeles Rams because he was so battered and beaten up in Green Bay. He was taking so much of the workload that he couldn't take it anymore. But I think Trey Sermon is actually good. I think he's actually good. Problem was he just wasn't healthy. He was just injured all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I just feel like I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say what you were saying about the zone blocking scheme. Hey, that's set up to help out running backs. Actually, when you look at it, because that's something that his father Kyle, bring into the league, and it helped out Terrell Davis. Again, one of the greatest running backs to ever play. Terrell Davis had 2 spectacular 2,000-yard seasons because of that zone blocking scheme. When he moved it over to Washington, Alfred Morris, he benefited greatly from that zone blocking scheme. Let's talk about from Texas. Forgetting his name, Arian Foster. Another guy out of Tennessee who benefited that zone blocking scheme that Shanahan runs in San Francisco is straight out of his dad's playbook. But again,
for sure,
it's made to bring out everything that a running back can do is made to accentuate.
When you're a running back running in a zone like that, that we call that the West Coast offense for Kyle Shanahan and his pops, right? Yeah. It's like a wave. As you're reading your zone, as you're reading your blocks and trying to get in and out, it's a wave. You know what I mean? And Deebo is just great at it. He's patient. He understands how to move and how to navigate through his blocks. It was kind of like, you might want to just give him the ball because he's a weapon. And then on top of that, think about it, man. And we're going into San Francisco. Deebo is top 5 in drops. I don't think people understood. I don't think people
a lot of people don't talk about that. Yeah,
people don't talk about that. He's in top 5 in drops now. So it was just things. Once Deebo touched the ball, man, he was a weapon. He got the juice going. And then once they start doing that, they start getting Kittle. They start getting him going. And then Elijah Mitchell, man, that dude. I mean, he went down with a broken hand, I believe, right, somewhere around there, and came back for the playoff. But yeah, I totally understand. I think Trey. I don't think Trey understood the zone blocking and behind our offensive line, and which I think we probably have number 1 or number 2 offensive line in football. I think, and then we spread holes like the Red Sea.
Top 2
say what?
Oh, yeah.
We top 2 and we not 2.
Yeah, okay, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to be humble, you know what I'm saying? And the depth on our offensive line is just crazy. And we're gonna spread the hole like the Red Sea, man. Look, that's why Miles be bouncing out and getting these long. I mean, not touchdowns as much, but I'm expecting, who I'm expecting to get at the main portion of the bulk of that our running back is Gainwell and Boston Scott. And I think with that wide tight end set that we run, and we can push. We're bullies. We are the Philadelphia. We shouldn't even be the Eagles. We are the Philadelphia Bullies when it comes to pushing our defensive linemen out of the way. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. And I guess it depends on how you're going to put him in the situation. Basically, what I would say.
Yeah. I think for Trey in San Francisco, it's. The way that offense is, it's a cousin of that West Coast offense. Mike took it what Bill built up on, and he was focusing more on the running back, what Roger Craig was doing. He wanted to accentuate that part of the offense. Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with the linemen because they're given more responsibility. And, for a running back at first, it may be difficult to learn that because you have to understand where the linemen are at, blocking scheme, that comes into play with it. But again, kind of like what Coach said, the biggest issue for Sermon was the fact that he wasn't available due to injury. That's
Yeah,
plain and simple. He would be the starter
got
right
injured.
now.
He got injured in Philadelphia week 2. He got injured in Philadelphia week 2. I don't know if you guys remember that. He had a big old run, and he got hit. It was the Eagles game, right? When he got hit.
Got talent, man. He's got talent.
He does it. I'm saying he got talent.
My statistician just advised me Trey Sermon has a 4.1 run per yard average. That's you know what I'm saying? That's very good. Again, it's just he has the talent, he has all the tools to be a great running back. Same as Miles Sanders. Both are in the same situation.
But
Trey Sermon is 1 year ahead of Miles Sanders in this situation.
Everything out. I need Miles to understand that he needs to trust his instincts and stop bouncing everything outside. Stop. Trust your blocking. Good.
That's
Lord.
something that the coach always says, and I've said 1,000 times, and we've all heard it. When they're mic'd up, one cut and go. We all know Miles is never doing one cut and go. Miles will do 3 cuts and take 2 steps back before he goes forward, and that's one of the issues. He likes to dance around. He's been doing it since Penn State. He actually didn't do that, let's be honest, before he seen his guy Saquon doing that. He emulated a lot of his game after Saquon. And I think that kind of hurt him a little bit, because had he been the back before the starter, when he was before Saquon, that was a different Miles Sanders. That's the Miles Sanders I wish we had now. Let's be honest. A lot of guys that watch Penn State, they remember that Miles. They know that kid. He hasn't been the same. Again, he's still a great talent, but his biggest issue is the fact that he's never available. Right now, and that's the next question I have here. What do you all think about this? Miles has been out of practice for the last 3 weeks. As soon as we sign 2 running backs, Miles is back on the field. The hamstring's fine. Let me start with you, Shay. What do you think about that?
You know what? You over here throwing the conspiracy theories out here, man. I didn't even think about that. Interesting. But you know what? I honestly think the hamstrings are tricky. So like when you heard those, you gotta take your time with it. So I do feel like he definitely had to take his time for sure. But I feel like we all knew the Eagles are going to do something with the running back room. Whether they were going to trade for it, and they were trying to trade for Trey Sermon, apparently, before he got waived, or whether they were going to sign people from waiver wire, which they did. They were going to do something. So I know there probably was a sense of urgency there for Miles to get back on the field. I'm glad to see him on the field because we need him. And I'm of the belief that whether he does well or he doesn't, this is probably his last year here. I feel like he's going to either outplay his way out of here, or he's going to kind of show some of the same flaws, and we're going to decide that he's not worth giving a contract extension. Given the fact we also still have Gainwell and some other guys that are also still young.
Yeah. Look, with these 2 moves that were made, again, I know that it's not long term, but again, it shows that Miles is being put on notice. I've talked about it ad nauseum. The best ability is availability. Miles has not been dependable. Last season, Miles had talent. You've seen him run the ball. He can do it. But when it counted, when we're in the red zone, we're not looking to Miles. That shows you that he's not a guy that you can depend on. This season, we're going into the offseason. We hear the talk. Miles is talking about he's taking it serious now. He's focused. But again, 3 weeks off. We resting right now. The hammies ain't working. I'm not seeing anything that would prove to me that Miles is going to have a great season. Not to say that he isn't, but nothing is showing me that that's going to come about. If anything, it shows to me that we might have another season where he might be performing decently and then get injured. But luckily enough, Howie did what he had to do and made some moves and got some guys in here to fill that need, if need be.
I mean, and to elaborate on what Sway Kate what he said, it's all about hamstrings. Is tricky, very tricky, and alignment issues, hydrate issues. You need to get some Pedialyte. You got to get something.
I wasn't happy with Chip Kelly, huh?
Yeah, right. You got to get something. You know what I mean? You got to do something wrong. I mean, right? He's put on some muscles in his lower body and everything like that. He's probably a little bit more strain on his hamstrings. But I feel like Miles is that dude, man. And I hate that he gets the bashing. I can't stand it because he's one of my favorite running backs. I mean, I got his jersey. He's one of my favorite guys on my team, man. So, and he kind of has that little bit of shady in him. He isn't shady. He just got a little bit of the little shiftiness. You know what I mean? So I'm a Miles Sanders fan, man. I absolutely believe that you're absolutely right that this is last year going to be an Eagle uniform because we're not paying $7 to $8 million for that.
I honestly believe it.
That's not.
Now, like, I would love to be wrong, man. Like, I would love best case scenario. He runs like 1,200 yards. If he runs for 1,200 yards, I'm gonna be, oh shoot, well, I'm gonna be sad he's going because he's going to be going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, but like, I would love to see that, but I don't know.
Listen, I honestly believe it as well. Like I said, these moves that are made is just so that way. Again, if one of the two perform well, you can hold them over till next year. You can move on from Miles. You still have Gainwell. We know we're going to move on from Boston Scott by next season. So a change in the guard will be made. It could be possible that we go into the draft and pick a running back high pick, maybe a second rounder, possibly a first, depending on how the running backs shake out this year in college football. That's also a possibility. But again, at least for me, everything that's lining up doesn't show me that Miles is going to be here next year. This is just us preparing to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Let me shout out my guy, SC. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. And also, I got my guy. You seen him under Louis Ubellas, a.k.a. Koofy. Thank you for coming through, Raiders fans. Again, also, like SC. I won't disrespect the Raiders because of SC, but I will tell you this. Y'all are trash. Oh, my God. One of my best friends, man. We go back and forth since we were little kids. But going forward, now let's get into the season. Again, we saw, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's talk about what took place on Saturday night. A lot of us aren't talking about it. It was horrible. We all know starters weren't in the game. But Miami put their full starters in, and all of Dolphin Nation was excited because Tua Tagovailoa threw a touchdown pass against number 2s. That's it. Yeah, I'm coming at y'all, Miami. This is your segment right now. Y'all been acting like straight fools this whole week. But, King, let me start off with you. What were your thoughts on Saturday night, and what did you think of the aftermath?
It was poor play by our depth. But it's preseason. Like, if you want preseason champ, we don't have preseason championships. We don't have preseason awards. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, preseason was so pathetic. They took a week away. That's why you got more. That's why you got more. These organizations practicing together now because that's the preseason, not the game where you see it. I mean, we're just the game is for this. The game is to see if you have some guys that have talent and you're like, okay, cool, all right, well, you see what's up, right? Yeah, man, it was crazy though. Like that, and then it was crazy in Total Access. Man, they've been replaying it so much, and then you got what was it? You got Cheetah just pumping the Kool-Aid and the sauce, everything about Tua. I'm be honest with you. Number one, that throw was underthrown because he had to come back for the damn ball. Number two, and you going against you going against guys that weren't even going to make the team. Like, calm down.
Listen, when like how you said Hill talking about Tua so much, it's kind of like that saying, "Doubt protests too much." You talking about my guy so much, it leads me to believe he straight boomed the cheeks, and we're gonna see it through the season. Listen, Tyreek Hill is a great band-aid to a bad quarterback. His speed will make you look great. A quick screen will give you 91 yards in the stat book, but again, he gets covered up well. What you doing? Because we ain't seen him spread the ball. You got Gesicki, who apparently is just learning to be a tight end. He was a wide receiver this whole time, folks. He never knew what a tight end position was. When he was in Penn State, he was a freaking wide receiver. Come on, man. That was one of the lamest excuses I've ever heard anyone ever bring up. Yes, he is, and he's on a trading block. But we'll see what Tua does. Again, Dolphins fan, this section is for you because y'all been running your mouth all week. I've been listening to it. I know my guy Shay is tired of it. But Coach Dante, let me get your thoughts on the Saturday night game between the Eagles and the Dolphins, and what did you think of the aftermath?
First of all, I don't know what it's like because I'm not an Eagle fan, so I don't know what it's like after the aftermath. But I can tell you what I saw during the game, man. Like I say again, I don't think too much of it, man. Like I say, Tyreek Hill can beat anybody any given time. What most people scared of is his speed. That's just what most people scared of. I mean, he's not the best of using his hands or catching with his hands or not. What most people scared of is scheme for is his speed. So Tua, the Dolphins really Tua have no excuses this year to perform. So if he doesn't perform, he's going to be out. The Miami Dolphins going to draft the quarterback next year due to the fact they already tried to trade him twice already. The deal actually went through when my Texans was about to give him to Deshaun Watson, the Dolphins. So he's been in trade talks. Brian Flores wasn't the best of friends with Tua anyway, so he wasn't a big fan of Tua. So if he doesn't perform with Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and all of those guys, then he's going to be up out of the door. So again, at the end of the day, I don't think too much into it. But I mean, you're just going up against a Kayvon Wallace who got beat like he stole something. I mean, he burned the corner and the safety back. He just got between both of them, and it wasn't even really close. It wasn't even really close on that deal. So again, I don't think too much into it. But Tyreek Hill can beat anybody up the field just on his speed alone. No matter how much cushion. Well, no matter how much you playing up off of him, he still can make up that ground and just beat you because that's just how fast Tyreek Hill. That's the only thing people really are scared of is just his speed. He's just not the best of hands catcher, or in the screen game, he's just dangerous at the short and intermediate routes. He's just dangerous at that. So again, I don't think too much of it.
Your mic's muted, Vic.
Damn. I was like, listen, as soon as Tyreek burned past them, they had some butter on the sidelines, ready and waiting. Because those are some third-degree birds. But Shay, let me get your thoughts. What did you think of Saturday night's performance? What did you think of the aftermath? And like I said, you've been listening to it all week from Dolphins fans, even Raiders fans and Commanders fans. I don't know why you chipping in. CJ the Hog looking at you, my guy. Don't know why you chipping in with your sorry-ass team. But Shay, let them know.
Mississippi, just so everybody knows. But anywho, I'm gonna be 100 with you, Vic, and everybody else listening. I actually did not catch the game. I was actually traveling for my little cousin's second birthday party, but I heard I didn't miss much.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. So I'm not necessarily mad about it. I heard that the starters were in for the first 3 drives or so, and they were getting busy on our backups and so forth. And that's all well and good. That's preseason. That's what it's there for. You want to get your quarterback in the rhythm, go right on ahead. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, he who laughs first laughs last. Because Cowboys fans doing that at the end of last year, and we saw what happened in the next game. So you getting all happy and excited going to get some backups. Remember, it's practice. This is preseason. And if we were beating the hell out of y'all, then we'd be like, oh, that's great. It's good to see that. But we couldn't put too much credence on it because, once again, it's preseason. And to give you an example, Vic, of the craziness that I've heard this week, there was a guy who came into my space this week. It was a Dolphins fan, and he told me boldly that the Dolphins were going to win 13 games this year.
Oh, it's okay. You can say their names. Put them out there. It's okay.
Was it Prince? I don't remember. It may have been Prince. I can't remember his name for real. But my homeboys will probably tell me in the group, in the chat, whatever. But man, like 13 wins. Go into your memory banks and think about the last time Miami ever won or came close to 13 wins. Can you do it? Because I can't do it.
Listen, it was back in the 70s, and they had a guy by the name of Greasy at quarterback. Marino. I'm trying to think, that year they went to the Super Bowl, possibly.
It was
I don't know if it was 13.
It was when they were 16-0. When they were 16-0 and won the Super Bowl.
No.
That was back in the 70s. But when they had Marino, when he went to the Super Bowl against
they had Marino. They won some Marino. Yeah.
That was his rookie year.
It was the 80s. In the 80s, I was like, man, I was mad. I was mad young.
I was a glimmer in my parents' eyes.
Listen, y'all are just about at the same level as Cowboys fans talking about the past like it's the present.
13 wins, sir. I'm trying to think of what about your team makes you feel like you're going to win 13 wins, being amongst the best teams in the league, including beating the Buffalo Bills in your division. I'm trying to figure that out. Only because you got Tyreek Hill and Tyron Armstead, and you think all of a sudden that I automatically put you there. I'm like, sir, let's just be real. I'm not even putting the Eagles at 13 wins, and I'm high on my team, but I got to see it.
You got to keep it 100. You gotta keep it 100 because
100,
listen,
200.
if you talking about the Dolphins, let's be honest. Who's the Dolphins running back? Can anyone name him?
It's like
Oh my
They're
god.
so excited at the fact that they got Tyreek Hill that they totally forgot that there's other facets of football that let you win a game. You got to still play
And
special teams.
and
There's
their
defense.
defense is kind of lopsided as well because their DB is hurt. Byron Jones.
Jones.
Yep,
Byron
Jones.
Jones, he's hurt. You
I
know what I'm
like-
saying? So
Xavier-
I like
1984,
Xavier.
damn.
I like
I was
I like
years
Xavier.
I like Holland. What's the guy? Phillips. I think they also have.
He got cut.
Oh, they cut Phillips.
Lindsay, yeah, Lindsay
Jalen-
Phillips.
Yeah,
Right?
Phillips
No,
got cut.
no, Philip Lindsay got cut by the Colts.
No, didn't they get the defensive end from Miami?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or maybe I might be wrong. I'm thinking about someone. But they also have Watkins, the kid.
He played for him last year. I'm sorry.
Hey, it took Koof to get it. Miles Gaskin, but he's not even their
Gaskins,
starter.
yeah.
He's not even their
Yeah.
starter. Miles Gaskin is their backup. He was their starter at one time and lost the position last year.
I think
So Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
Yep.
From Arizona.
Again,
He was from
number
Cardinals.
2 from Arizona. Well, let's be honest. Chase Edmonds was always a number 3.
And then Raheem
And then
Mostert
you
is
got-
their starter
and Mostert.
from the Niners.
They have.
Look at that.
Man,
They got the only hobbled backfield.
True.
Liz, again, I get the confidence and I get the fact that you stand by your team. But sometimes, fellas, especially when you're in these spaces making these ludicrous comments, like calm it down. There's no
You're right.
13 win season
You're right.
for Miami at all. Again, I got it. You're excited for Tyreek Hill. Who would it be? But he ain't gonna win y'all a Super Bowl. It's not gonna happen.
Hey, but he's just talking them up, man. He's getting fans excited. He already
That's
became, I think, he already became the captain of the team. He's, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot going on in Miami. They live in La Vida Loco out there, man.
I just got another shocking stat of $42.8 million in dead cap money for the Giants so far. Good Lord, we're just giving money away.
Whoa. They just let go of Martinez.
They let go of Martinez. They let go of Galloway already. Yo,
What? They let go of Galloway?
I thought they let go of Galloway. Yeah, I swore they let go of Galloway.
They let go of Galladay?
I
No,
swear.
they
I
didn't.
swear. Hold on. Oh,
No way.
hold on.
No way.
I gotta double check, but I swore I saw something that Galloway got let go. Giants fans, if
No.
you're in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think they got rid of Galloway.
They get rid of Galladay?
All right, I'm gonna try to double check because I swore I seen something. Because that was one of the biggest surprise. Let's be honest. They made a lot of fuss to get him. Oh yeah, definitely got him. We'll check. Like I said, if anyone in the chat knows, please. Again, I swore I seen something earlier about him getting let go, but we'll follow up on that. But listen, we already been here for about an hour and 15. Let me get your thoughts this offseason. What did you take away from this offseason? What do you think is going to happen this season? What do you see? Are there any surprises you think that could possibly happen? Is there anyone that you're super confident about? What do you think this season is going to end up being like? Shay, let me start off with you.
Honestly, man, this offseason was easily one of the best, if not the best offseason I've seen an Eagles team have. As far as just addressing the holes that you have in your roster and addressing it with younger, high-end talent. Think about like how much younger this roster is now as compared to it was like back in like 2020 when we were like one of the oldest ones. It's hard to believe that we're able to replenish it this way so fast. And I can pinpoint to so many guys that I can look at and be like, that's a young guy should be here who could be here for a while on like multiple levels of the team. And because of that, with the mix of the veterans that we have, I see our team that has a 12-win ceiling, 10-win floor. I feel like you added enough talent on the team where you at least are a game better than what you were last year. And if you're not, then there's a problem. But we do need to see certain things happen before I can kind of like go overboard, because as much as I love the Eagles, I want to be a fan and be like, oh, we're going to win 13, 14 wins. Like I got to, I got to see some things first. I got to see the continued progression of Jalen Hurts as a passer. I got to see Jonathan Gannon call better schemes, and unleash his pass rush, because we haven't talked about it enough. We were like second worst pass rush last year. We can't be that this year. We got too much talent on the front seven to be second worst in the league. We got to be better, and the coverages had to be better against competent quarterbacks. We have to be able to put a stop to quarterbacks with a post, because we didn't last year. And guys, even like Taylor Heineke, were having high completion percentages against our defense. So I need to see that. I need to see our return game get better somehow. I'm interested to see who is the returner now that Rager's gone. I wonder if they're going to bring on one of the kids in the practice squad, in the game time, and just kind of figure it out from there. But yeah, if we see those improvements, like I'm hoping, I think we have a chance to. I mean, sky's the limit. We can be as good as we want to be.
Definitely can, man. Coach. Let me get your thoughts. What did you take away from this training camp with the Eagles, and what do you see for them going forward?
Well, I see a 11-6 Eagles team, football team. That's what I see. I think that they're going to have some stretches when they're going to have chemistry problems a little bit, but then they'll figure out later during the year, in the middle of the proper year, they'll figure it out. It just seems with Jalen Hurts, can he improve on his accuracy? Can he improve on not having being one read quarterback and just standing in the pocket? Sometimes be a tough guy, take a hit. Sometimes while throwing the football, because that's what a lot of teams going to make him do. They're going to try to make him sit in the pocket. And even though that he do got A.J. Brown, he do got Devontae Smith, can he make the throws he need to make down the stretch? There's no excuse for Jonathan Gannon this year. Last year, you had a lot of excuses. You didn't have the right players to fit your scheme. This year, you got them. You got the linebackers. You got the cornerbacks. You got the safeties this year. You got the defensive linemen to match up with any offensive line in the National Football League. There's no excuses why you should not be in the top 10 on the defensive side of the football. That doesn't happen. You're in the top 20. That's a problem right there. That's a problem right there. You're not winning many games and beating many teams if you're in the top 20 in the NFL on stopping people on and not being able to get off the field on third down and having the defensive lineman in coverage and stuff like that. You got the one-on-one. You got guys that can go one-on-one in Darius Slate and Bradbury. You got a good slot cornerback. You got a good safety who can match up with tight ends who can tackle. They can get physical. And you got a guy that can give you 130 tackles this year in Kaiser White. So you got all the intangibles you need on the defensive end. So it would not be no excuses for Jonathan Gannon not to have this defense in the top 10 and this year. Is no excuses for the team as a whole. No excuses as a team as a whole. You cannot have another failed season. You cannot have another first round and exit. This team is built to go get past the first round this year. Last year you got to the first round. Surprisingly, with a rebuilding team, this year it's time to go get past that first round. This year would not be on Howie Roseman. He did everything the Eagles fan base asked him. He adjusted every single need that you guys asked him for. It's about this coaching staff putting these guys in the right position to make plays. And it's about the defensive coaching scheme to put these guys in the right position to make the right plays. And it's about it's about Nick Sirianni. Is he going to run the football more? Still going to run the football? Or is he going to appease A.J. Brown to throw it a lot more? That remains to be seen. But it's no excuses for this Eagles organization. I would not put this all on Howie Roseman because he did everything the Eagles fan base and the Eagles needed. He addressed every need that will be on the coaching staff and some of these players of the Eagles find a way to regress this year with this talent that they got on this football team.
Listen, I definitely agree, especially in reference to Coach Gannon. This defense, again, was last year, we were told that we didn't have enough talent. We didn't have the pieces needed in order for Coach Gannon to have his defense look the way it should. Like you said, Howie Roseman went above and beyond this offseason. He got the ingredients right. Now, let's see what we got in that meal. Because, again, the defense has been changed over to a Vic Fangio defense. Moves have been made. If Jonathan Gannon cannot be the defensive coordinator that we need, and this defense cannot progress with him, it's time to let him go. I understand you're Nick Sirianni's best friend, but guess what? Personal business and business are two separate things. That personal relationship can continue for years to come. This business relationship got to get cut. If you're not up to it, listen, I say make a call to the man himself, Vic Fangio, and bring him down next season if that's what we're going to need. But for this season, just like Miles Sanders, just like Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Gannon's on notice. You have to perform in order to get that extension, to get that contract, in order to stay here. Because there are no excuses. Again, we all know what Howie has done this offseason. He went out his way to make sure to solidify one position that has been ignored for 14 seasons. Again, has been ignored for 14 seasons in the linebacker position. We made moves. Hey, the ball is literally in Jonathan Gannon's court. He needs to show and he needs to improve. But King, let me get your thoughts.
Shit, I mean, Coach Dante said everything. He was spitting facts. Son. He was spitting that joint like he was a Houston, Texas rapper. I would have to say this. I'm excited to see Jalen Hurts to be able to see if he can hitting his reads, 1 and 2. If he's uncomfortable, get out of the pocket, do what you got to do. Make something with your feet. Make something work. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, you guys said it on ahead. I mean, Gannon, this is the thing. Gannon had how many interviews last year for
believe 2? Was it 2? Minnesota and Houston, I believe.
And me and my Texans for sure he was in the running of being.
Yeah, I know it was Minnesota and Houston.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you're happy your Texans got Lovie Smith because they're going to play hard for him. This is my thing. If he fails, it's gone. Especially with this talent that we have on this roster, it's gone. You cut that right out. So I think he is going to put his best foot forward to make sure that this defense is a top 5. And when I mean top 5, I mean top 5. Like I want a top 5 defense. I want, God bless the dead, with Jimmy, but I want something in that era. That's what I want. And for offense, from what I'm hearing, we're going to be throwing. And I'm just hoping that Jalen can take that lead role and just understand your assignment. That's the biggest thing. Understand the assignment. Don't make the play bigger than you. You know what I mean? Make it a part of you. And execute the plays. That's all I need you to do. And that's all the offense needs you to do. I'm interested. I am interested to see who's going to be the punt returner and kick returner. I'm hearing Brett because so on a practice squad, you're only allowed to call up
43.
48, right? Is that 48?
Yeah.
48.
So it's 48. You only got 3 times to call that player up. Is that correct? Throughout the season.
Yep.
Ooh. So what happens if you have an injury on a wide receiver? Do you go get Kane? Because he's a 50-50 ball guy. He can go get the ball. Or do you go special teams ace and get Covey or Allen? You know what I mean? Like it's a give and take how it's gonna go. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with Juergens. He's a beast, man. Are you gonna have him sitting on the bench the entire time, the whole entire year? You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna give him, hey, you're gonna sit behind and you're gonna see through the eyes of Jason Kelce and what he does? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just interested in see what's going to happen there. But I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited about this Philadelphia Eagles team and the depth, the roster on paper. We look great. We got to put it on the field. And week 1, I expect to win.
Yep.
Week 2, I'm going back home. I'll be back in Philadelphia, South Philly all day, every day, because I'm a South Philadelphia, South Jersey product. I'll be back home. I swear, we gotta beat the Vikings, man. We gotta beat them.
We definitely winning week 3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a gimme game. Doug coming back. Oh, that's gonna be a good game also.
And the Cowboys, I'm gonna be back home for the Cowboys. We gotta win that one.
Week 3.
I got it. Like that one, that's a must. We gotta beat the Cowboys at home. not in Dallas, at home. I want that game.
I want both wins.
I've circled that game in Arizona. They're coming to me. And your boy lives in Arizona. I'm South Jersey, South Philadelphia product. I live in Arizona now. My mom hit me with the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I ain't moved to Beverly Hills. I moved to Tucson, but Arizona. Those are like the 3 games. I'm like, yo, we gotta represent, please. But and I'm gonna take it by week. You know what I'm saying? And hill up fast, Andre Dillard. It's always you, man. You're always hurt. I don't know what's up with you, B. Damn. Get it together, B. Finish your breakfast. Finish your breakfast and drink some milk, B. Damn.
He was doing all that working out, but he forgot to drink that milk, like you said.
You know what I'm saying? Finish your breakfast, B. Damn. All here wild now.
For this year, this training camp specifically, I thought that this year, like the excitement that we had, it rivaled what happened last year. And I thought it was at its peak last year with Jalen Hurts becoming the starter. Everyone's behind his back. Now this year, all the new acquisitions, all the moves being made. The love that Howie has this offseason is ridiculous. If you were to take a chart from, rate Howie Roseman in 2021 and rate Howie Roseman now, the contrast is ridiculous. It went from being probably one of the most hated GMs in Philadelphia history to now one of the most beloved in Philadelphia history. Daryl Morey, who? I mean, it's all about Howie. Howie owns the city.
Hey, that was Daryl Morey, though. He can't do a man Murray like that, man. He had practice, too. He be out there. Shout out to Daryl Morey, man.
Yeah, like Howie's...
Get some more pieces for my Sixers, though. Get some more pieces for my Sixers.
Howie writes his own ticket in Philadelphia. Like, my guy has the keys to the city. But for this team, listen, I'm excited. But the one thing I want to see out of Nick Sirianni is I don't want anything predetermined where we're going to be a passing team, we're going to be a running team. No. Let's do what the defense dictates. Let's see what they give us. Let's work that way. Let's not have a set plan where we're going to be 65% pass and 20. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to play the game and see how the defense, goes. The flow of the game is everything. You got to make decisions right then and there. We can't be waiting until halftime, until seeing if we can make some changes. Can't do that right then. You got to be faster with that. Coach Gannon as well.
But Vic, don't you think he's going to spread the seeds and water the flowers?
Oh, listen, we have there's a lot to be done, but what I want is don't just stay focused on one area. Don't do that because that's what we had last year. We had some tunnel vision where we were a pass first team in the first couple of weeks. Then we became a run team. Then we became a pass team. It's 2. We got the blinders on. Let's open it up to everything. Let's be open to any situation that comes upon us. That's what we have to be. For Gannon, we said it at length.
I think this is all on Steichen, though. I think Steichen is a good offensive coordinator. I think Nick Sirianni is a good coach. And the reason why I say that, because for you to be a good coach and you understand, okay, throwing a football didn't work, and you switch it up in the middle of the football season and say, hey, we're going to run the ball and we're going to control the clock. That's good coaching to me. And I think Nick gets it. I think Nick loves being in Philadelphia, and he gets us. He understands it. He understands his audience. So I believe, and I get it. We got A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is not a 50-50. He's like a 80-20. You know what I'm saying? He's T.O. He's a recarrier like T.O. in my opinion. Big and strong, gonna catch the ball, and gonna bully people. I mean, on this offensive style, I think Steichen understands. I think he really does. I really, really, really do. I think Steichen understands what needs to happen. And I think with him and Nick and Jalen, they all trust each other. They get it.
Yeah, I think there's a good brain trust between, Coach Sirianni, you have Howie Roseman, and Shane Steichen. And that's one thing. I like that cohesion. I like how they're all working together. Again, the biggest mystery of this season is going to be our defensive coordinator. I've been saying that for how long? Hopefully they can get past that, though. Hopefully, this is Jonathan Gannon's year. He has the talent he needs to put his defense out there. And I hope, for the best. I hope the best. But if not, like I said, we got to move on. We can't be waiting around for anyone. The time is now. You have to seize the opportunity. This is a very young team, and you have to capitalize on that. I think Coach Sirianni did make the right moves this offseason. Getting over control of the office of Shane Steichen and knowing that I can't do everything. I'm going to need some help. That's a big step for a coach, especially in his second year. That's a huge step. And that's something that that builds confidence. Going into the season, I think they're going to have a good season. It's going to be just kind of like last. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. I'm just hoping the fan base doesn't go with the ebbs and flows. Doesn't hate so much, and then D-ride in the next week. Stop that.
Yo, this is Negadelphia. You gotta understand.
Yeah, you got to stick by your team and understand, man. Like it's going to be a long road.
You know who you talking about? These people don't have no patience.
Hell no, man. This is Negadelphia, man. Go on now. Hey, listen, Vic. Yeah, and Vic, you know this. You and I were both raised in PA, so you know how it's gonna go. You know what I mean? This is Negadelphia. You know what I mean? Like I talked to my grandmother yesterday, and she was like, "Them damn Eagles better do something." I'm like, "Grandma, Big Mama, they've been doing stuff." She like, listen, I don't give a damn. As long as they beat them damn Cowboys and them Steelers, that's all I care about.
Hey,
listen, Big Mama,
that's my big mama, man. That's my big mama.
Just trust.
I am sick of that shit.
Yeah. Oh, and me and my pops was talking about that. My pops was like, listen, if we don't beat the Dallas Cowboys,
it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be tough because what I'm saying. My pops works with a lot of Cowboy fans.
We 15-2, but if those two losses are against the Cowboys, I'm still.
Listen,
I'm tired of getting swiped, bro. I'm tired of that.
When we lose to the Cowboys, it's like we don't get as much sleep. The workday is longer. People are more annoying around us. Everything bothers us. Like, it puts us in a mood. So I'm hoping that these guys get everything together so that way we can come out this year and be like, yo, we're talking about 28 years in a row. Y'all ain't won nothing. And we swept y'all. We put the brooms to your backside. That's what I want to come out this year because I'm tired of hearing these. One
thing I am tired of. The year that we won the Super Bowl in 2017, we should have swept. But we had bigger fish to fry, right? You know what I'm saying? But last year, they go off talking like, "Oh, we swept them." I'm like, we played against like our fifth and fourth strings. Like
they're like, "Oh, don't bring that up." I'm like, "But you have to."
But we didn't bring it up in 2017 when we won the Super Bowl and played. Well, Nick Foles played terrible that game, and Nate Selfeld. You know what I mean? And they played terrible. The Dak didn't do a damn thing. Zeke act like he didn't want to touch the ball.
Nobody talks.
It's just nobody talks about
Dallas will have a very challenging year. First of all, like us, for our biggest mystery is our defensive coordinator. Theirs is their own head coach, Mike McCarthy. Cost them games. Those his own play calling. They have so much of an uphill battle that these Cowboys fans are just blind with just delight.
That's because Jerry says so. Jerry said so.
Come into this year. My bad. It's okay. Their biggest issue was the fact they had no depth. Like they're very top heavy, and as soon as they get an injury at some positions, they're going to be in trouble. And we're already seeing it. That offensive line, boy, it's food to the whole division. It's food. The rest of the division has pass rushes, and they got issues over there in that line side.
They got a wall offensive line. Everybody about to make a sandwich out of that joint.
Boys,
heck yeah. But I will say this though, Dallas has a good backup tackle. Coach, we talked about it before in Ball. I like what he does. He's a very physical tackle. I think he can sustain for the whole season. But again, you're talking about the rest of the line who's often injured as well. So it's going to be very difficult. Dallas, again, you have a lot of confidence. I don't know where it comes from. Because, again, the last time y'all won a Super Bowl, you have to literally be taught about it in a history class. That's how long it's been. But,
I was in middle school last time they won.
Listen, I was too, and that was a long time ago. I'm not trying to say that was a minute ago. We're talking 28 years ago. Come on.
Oh, a long time ago, man.
Listen, people have lived and left this earth within that time. But fellas, we're at an hour and a half. Listen, I appreciate y'all for coming through. I appreciate everyone at home for taking the time out to watch. Let the good people at home know where they can find you. Shay, let me start off with you.
Sure, you can find me on Twitter. It's it's ConMozambique1, ConMozambique1. I hope I spelled it right. But yeah, I'm on there. Shay W. I'm always I do a Twitter space. I'm starting to do it every Thursday. I just started getting on Twitter space like a month ago. But then when
you're great at it, my guy. You're great at it.
I appreciate you, man. I saw there was like everybody had a space, but there was no Eagles fans. And then I feel like I saw like one of your spaces. I was like, oh, there's Eagles fans around here. I'm about to follow all y'all. Yeah, man.
Listen, like I said, I think you do a great job because one of the issues with spaces, you're constantly hearing people just yelling back and forth, and that's one of the things I love about your spaces. It's people who have, well thought out takes first of all, but they're not rude. They're not going in here just to, talk trash. They're just trying to get their points across and let everybody listen. That's the one thing I love about your spaces, man. And listen, if you have not, please, anytime you see Shay come up with a space, join in the conversation, man. Don't be shy.
Bro, I appreciate you, dog. That's love, bro. And the same to you, bro. I appreciate you having me on here, man. Like, I've been watching Eagles YouTubers for a long time, man. So being on one of these, man, is special to me. So I appreciate you having me on here for real.
Hey, man, thank you for coming through. Coach Dante, let the good folks at home know where they can find you because I'm sure, I guarantee you, there's a live tonight. There is a game on that you will be covering. Let them know.
It's a double dip, baby. Double dip tonight. One when I get off here, and my boy playing with TCU. Number 19, Shagrick Banks, linebacker. I'm gonna be doing this game tonight versus Colorado at 9:00. Y'all can find me at Coach Dante on YouTube. Y'all can find me Coach Dante on Spotlight Sports Network, the executive of the Spotlight Sports Network as well. You can find me Coach Dante at ECG, East Coast Gridiron, and also Coach Dante 31 on Twitter, man. Y'all hit me up if y'all need to collab. One like I tell Vic all the time, one takes away. And like I said, also I'm a real life flag football coach as well. Y'all can see me posting some of my, kids on Twitter as well. The work that we put in every single day and every single practice.
Heck yeah, Coach Dante's out there helping out the community, man. Got them kids running the correct routes, learning football the right way. That's the most important thing, man. Giving back, man. I appreciate you for coming through, my guy. King, let the people at home know where they can find you.
Oh, y'all know what it is, man. Swoop, boys. We in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. Barbershop Talk Wednesday. Short hair don't care over here. You know what I mean? everybody with the mom and pop, a little robot stuff. No, man, we do ours like real sports. Whole bunch of guys from South Jersey and Philadelphia, West Coast, East Coast. We do it. You know what I mean? Twitter, King K, y'all know what it is, man. I talk Eagles on there. I'm also a sneakerhead. Y'all know what it is, man. Definitely sneakerhead. So I'm always putting on some sneaker joints on that joint too. But yeah, man, I appreciate all y'all. Coach Johnson, I need you to show that the Texas joint one more time. I want Marlon. Yo, you know what I want? I wanted Marlon Mack.
Oh, that's
clean.
That's some clean edge work, man.
Yeah, yo, look at his line. His line looking straight too. I need to go get my joint. Yeah, I got the waves. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the hat's on. We looking a little
yeah. My wave. You know what I'm saying? I'll take this joint. Hey, right. Hey, let me brush my joint, put a do rag on. I'll make y'all sick. I'll flood this whole block up, son. You know what I mean?
Listen, fellas, man, I appreciate y'all for coming through on short notice, man. Listen, everybody at home, thank you so much for coming through. Listen, you can find me on Twitter. I'm your host, Vick3. Of course, you can find me here at all times. If you haven't, please go out to these gentlemen's YouTube pages. And like I said for Shay, when you see that Twitter space pop up, please go on. Again, it is a great space. You can have your conversation. It isn't everybody yelling and saying dumb takes, just disrespecting. There's respectful, well thought out takes going on down there. Okay? Show my guys some love. Show all my guys some love. And if you can, please hit that like and subscribe button for myself too. I see a lot of y'all out there aren't subscribed. About what? Quarter or half of y'all aren't subscribed. But you keep on coming back. Do me that solid. Hit that subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I give you good content, but you can catch me here. You will catch me with my guy, Jerry Lee, on the Big Ticket. We will be doing a show, probably Sunday, Monday, depending on it. But like I said, there was a lot going on this week. I thought we had to talk about it. And fellas, thank you so much for making this show great, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. And like and subscribe.
Yes, please like and subscribe. And everybody at home, happy Labor Day on Monday if we do not talk to you. This has been a great show. This is Vick3 Presents Friday Night Live. We out.
Arvita.